as it relates to Thursday, Friday, because we get so many campers come in and the Coke lot's filling up and the lot across the street's filling up. So it is race weekend, which is fantastic. So we started having these briefings in 2016 when we were leading into the 100th running at the Indianapolis 500, really because of how crowded the 100th running was going to be. We were sold out for that event in the grandstands as well as in the infield, and we were just trying to make sure that we gave customers every opportunity to understand the challenge of having the second largest city in the state of Indiana inside the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So getting here, regardless of the number of gates that we have open and the number of police officers that are helping on traffic, it was going to be a little bit of an event. Fortunately, we are in almost the exact same spot again this year. I just literally got off the phone with our ticket team so that I could give you the most updated information from the ticketing folks. But we are under 10,000 tickets remaining inside of our grandstands. And in most instances, especially in the front straightaway, we don't have a seat available. So if you think about A penthouse, B penthouse, E penthouse, paddock penthouse, so the upper deck of the front stretch, that is completely sold out. H stand and J stand, which are the two open air stands north of Holman Terrace Club and Holman Terrace Suites, are completely sold out. Pit Road Terrace, which is right behind the pit road just to the south of the pagoda, is completely sold out. Tower Terrace, which is right underneath us here in the media center, stretching all the way back to the entry of the pits, is completely sold out. The one area where we have the most tickets remaining is the North Vista, so in between turns 3 and 4. And if you think about Indy 500s, that's generally the one place where you kind of see those gaps. We've got about between 5,000 and 6,000 seats remaining in that location. And then from there, when you start thinking about Southwest Vista, Northwest Vista, to Southeast Vista, we're in the 500 to 1,000 tickets is all that's left in those grandstands. So if we don't sell out every single reserve seat between now and Sunday, it's going to be pretty darn close. So this will be the largest attended Indianapolis 500, but for the 100th running in the last 20 years here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So for those of you that have been around a long time like I have, this will be my 46th Indianapolis 500 in a row. It will feel like the Indianapolis 500 that you expect. It is going to be extremely crowded. All of our parking is sold out here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So we are telling our customers, if you are coming and you do not have a parking pass for our outside lots or our inside lot, you need to start thinking about where you're going to park. Obviously, we can't have this event without the town of Speedway and the neighbors who let people park in their yards and camp in their yards, so a lot of that's going to take place. But also want to make sure customers know that there are restrictions in the town of Speedway in terms of parking on the street. So you just really need to plan through where you are going to park. If you can do it, you can ride your bike here. We have bike gates at 1, 6, and 9 where you can lock your bikes up. We do like Andrew Luck does. Andrew Luck rides his bike to the Indianapolis 500 every year. It's actually pretty cool. We have shuttles that you can take from the airport and from downtown. We typically bring through between 5,000 and 7,000 people on shuttles from downtown and the airport, and there's still availability on that. So at ims.com you can see all the information for that. So in 2016 we talked about plan on coming early, be prepared and know where you're going to park, and be really, really patient. Patience is going to be a big piece of this, because no matter how much we plan and how much effort we have with local law enforcement, federal agencies, and others to make sure that we are transitioning you from state police to IMPD to Speedway Police to our folks here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as you go through each of those zones, it is bringing the second largest city in the state of Indiana to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway basically at the same time. So it will take a little bit of patience and understanding, and we're looking forward to having people come through here. So ims.com/plan ahead is the best way to really understand sort of live timing, what's going on. When you get to the gates, you can expect to have all your coolers and backpacks inspected. We have a third-party contractor who is trained in going through coolers and backpacks. It's going to be warm on Sunday, which is great. It's not going to be hot. It's going to be warm. So I'm asking people, if you want to get through quicker, don't wear those jackets. If you've got a jacket on or some sort of outer layer, we are going to go through your outer layer. We may even ask you to take it off. So it's really important, if you want to get through quicker, just come through in whatever you're going to wear as things get warmer. One of the things we've really focused on since 2016, and this year I'm really excited about it, is we're asking you to come early. But if we're asking you to come early, we need to entertain you. So our content team has put together some unbelievable videos that will play throughout the day that haven't been seen before. A lot of what we're focused on is bringing our family back. And when I say family, I mean our race fans, our teams, our drivers, those folks who, this is a family event for all of us. We're all family on Indianapolis 500 Day. So we'll have a lot of videos that are starting, new content for people to watch. Obviously, the March to Bricks, where we actually bring the Borg Warner around the infield and then down the front straightaway to reunite the Borg Warner with that bottle of milk and that wreath that are so important to our victory lane. That's a pretty cool opportunity for people to see that. We'll have the historic cars running again with some of our past drivers, celebrating a lot of cool things that have happened, especially things that have happened in years that end in 2. So a lot of great race cars. And then pre-race itself is my favorite time of the year, and I just encourage people, make sure you're here early, because don't get here just for the start. You want to get here to see pre-race. The music talent we have this year is outstanding. We have a double flyover from our friends at the Air Force Thunderbirds, which is going to be pretty impressive. Miles Teller will be here to wave the green flag. Sarah Fisher driving the pace car. A lot of great things taking place, and you just don't want to miss those 90 seconds of the year that are so important, which is back home again in Indiana, maybe my favorite 90 seconds of the year. So we are just encouraging people, get here early, plan, know where you're parking, know where you're going, understand the gate that you're going to go in. You can also watch our social media, because we are going to try and help give you real-time information on gates, so you know whether you have a little wait, short wait, or longer wait at gates. And oftentimes, if you, for example, go to gate 1, just 100 yards or so from another gate, from that gate up north, or even to the east, oftentimes are gates that are a little bit shorter lines. So I know a lot of people like to go through the same gate every year because that's part of the tradition. But you can look around, and we will have 21 gates, 21 pedestrian gates open with about 220 lanes of ability to bring people in for this year's Indianapolis 500. So if you get to gate 1 or gate 9, which are a couple of our largest traffic gates, please feel free to look around and watch our social media, and we can help you get to a better gate. So each of you on the media side, you've got a press release here. There's all kinds of great information on some of the opportunities to help our customers plan ahead. For those customers that don't have the press release, ims.com/plan ahead gives you all the information to help you get there. And we'll continue to post a lot of it on social media to try and make sure people understand how to get here. But again, the most important thing, if you do not have a parking pass already issued by the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, please don't go to gate 2 or gate 10 with your car, because we're just going to move you on, because we are completely sold out inside of our infield. Same goes for Carb Day on Friday. If you don't have a pass to get into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, please try and find someplace else to park. We want to make sure that we get you in for Carb Day tomorrow, as well as race day. And then obviously Saturday, we'll have our public drivers meeting, the first time we've had a public drivers meeting where public could attend since 2019. So we'll do that in its traditional format with the drivers right outside the media center in front of Tower Terrace, to get them ready to go, and then we'll send them down to the parade, and everybody get a chance to go to the parade for the first time since 2019. We are just really excited to have everybody back home again here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and continue a tradition that's been taking place since 1911 as we get ready for the 106th running of the Indy 500 presented by Gamebridge. With that, I'm happy to take any questions. Yes, sir.
Hey, so less than 10,000 available. I think Roger told us last year that capacity is 235.
Correct.
Is that still right? Okay, so more than 225,000 tickets have been sold.
Correct. Actually, our capacity is 232,900. So about 230. The actual is 233,000.
Gotcha. What's your confidence, Doug, of being sold out?
Honestly, I don't think we will. I think we'll have a few of them left, to be honest with you. So my guess is we'll, probably sell another 5,000 tickets between now and Sunday. So I think we'll have somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 seats left over. And again, I would say almost all of those will be in the North Vista.
Gotcha. And just curious, I know Snake Pit, I think you've said 15 to 20, a little bit down from the 30 passengers. Is that still what you're expecting, or is that seeing growth as well?
No, I think we've seen a lot of. It's picked up a lot over the last week or so. The group that we work with on our Snake Pit said that the EDM crowd tends to buy a little bit later since the pandemic, and we've seen that. So a lot of robust traffic there. My guess is we're in the 18 to 20,000 range inside the Snake Pit. So historically we've been in that 25,000 number. I think a couple reasons beyond just folks buying later for that being down a bit. You may not recall, but in 2019 we made it 18 and over for the first time. It used to be high schoolers would come, so we sort of lost that training ground of high schoolers getting excited about it going into 2019, and then missing 2020 and 2021, even some of the college students. So I think we're in a little bit of rebuilding year there. I keep reminding our team though it's still more than a sold out Pacer game that's going to be inside there. So I think it'll be between 18 and 20,000 folks, and looking forward to having that. Should be a great show. Yep.
Hey Doug. Is there any contingency plans in place for tomorrow if it's rained out?
So yeah, we've been on the phone with Jay Fry and the team at IndyCar, and we've gone through a variety of scenarios. A lot of it depends on when the rain comes, how much dry time we get. I can tell you that the most important thing tomorrow is getting at least some on-track time in for the IndyCar teams. So if that means we have to move the pit stop competition or cancel the pit stop competition in order to get the on-track in, that's our biggest priority. From a music standpoint, music will start between 3:30 and 4, and we chose that time so that it would be on the back end of the pit stop competition, so folks would have an opportunity to see practice, see pit stop competition, and then go to Carb Day. We will start music for Carb Day regardless of what's going on track at between 3:30 and 4. So the music timing is not going to change. It's just too difficult to change all the artists and travel plans, so we're going to leave that alone. And that'll go on even in the rain. The place that it wouldn't go on obviously is if we have lightning. But the most important thing on track tomorrow is to make sure that if we have enough dry time to get the IndyCar practice in, and that means we'll move everything else around.
Excellent. Thanks, Doug.
Yep.
Doug, what's your level of concern as the president of this place of being a target of some kind of terrorist attack or mass shooting that is so much on the minds of Americans right now?
Yeah, the level of concern is high. It always is, and always has been, really since 2013. And I wasn't in this position in 2013. I was chief operating officer in 2013 when the Boston bombing happened, and it completely caused us to rethink the way that we bring customers into the facility. And some of you will remember in 2013 that our gates backed up severely in 2013, and a lot of that was because we increased our efforts to make sure that we were looking at coolers, that would make sure that we were looking through everything we could do to make sure that we kept our folks safe. And tragic things that have continued to happen in our country recently, and really if you think about Texas and Buffalo and other places where we've had challenges in the last 10 days, it makes it, you don't sleep as well at night, obviously. But I also feel very comfortable. We'll have 1,100 police officers, law enforcement officers on property here, both undercover, plainclothes, as well as in uniforms. We work closely with the FBI, the Secret Service, all of our law enforcement agencies here. In fact, we've got a couple meetings this afternoon to continue to go through it. We've got that third-party security training group that's really there to help us make sure that we're taking care of our customers when they come in, making sure people don't bring something in they shouldn't. If you're driving a car in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you go through federally and locally supplied bomb-sniffing dogs that can detect a firearm. So obviously you can't have a firearm here at the Speedway, and we have in the past had cars come through that a dog will notice a firearm, and we pull those folks over and send them out. They have to leave. They have to go figure out a way to dispose of that firearm before they come back in. So I feel really comfortable with the communication plan. Mike Bates on our team, who's a former deputy chief at IMPD, retired, who's been here. Ted Freeze, same thing. Who's here in his last weekend before he goes to become the chief of the Indianapolis Airport Police Department. Really lead that effort. We have monthly and then ultimately weekly meetings with all local and federal law enforcements. We do tabletop exercises where we think through every scenario, whether it's a bomb or whatever else it can be, including active shooter planning. You will see probably a more robust level of SWAT presence here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They've always been here, but they're going to be a little bit more visible. In fact, we're making it clear that those 1,100 officers are here to protect the 325,000 people we plan on being here. We also encourage all of our fans. You see something that's strange, let us know. Call 911, call our Pagoda Command. Make sure that we address it. But to answer your question, it's probably the one. I worry a lot about weather. Weather is a big challenge. You get this many people here for weather, and how do we make sure we keep people safe in the weather condition? But given the world we're in right now, we absolutely. That's really a heightened concern, but I feel really comfortable about the planning and the teamwork that we have with law enforcement, starting with the locals here at the Speedway and IMPD and the Sheriff's Department and the State Police, but also the federal. We're a Tier 2 level event, which is essentially on the federal radar, so we have access to all kinds of federal assets. The dogs are one of them. We have air support, so we're monitoring what's going on in our camping lots and what's going on in the facility. It's amazing how they can track people from far away. You don't even know you're being tracked. So if there's suspicious things taking place, we have access to that. We have drone technology here to take down unauthorized drones. I feel really good about the support we have. Yes, sir.
You said 1,100 police. Is that an increase over the last few days? Have you made bump that up, or is that always the planning?
So the question was, I mentioned 1,100 police officers, and he's asking if that was an increase over the last few days. No, that's the number that we believe is the right number for this place to be safe. We know what's going on in the world. It didn't just take what's happened in the last 10 days for us to know that was a challenge. So that 1,100 police officers, we believe, is more than an appropriate level of law enforcement here to help make sure that we are taking care of our customers. Anybody else? Thank you for the questions. Appreciate it. It is a challenging time and environment that we live in, especially for folks that are putting on events. The most important thing for our fans with respect to that is just, if you see something, let us know. We're going to do everything we can. We've got law enforcement. We'll continue to communicate between now and throughout the race on a real-time basis, and we feel very comfortable about that. But as a customer, if you're coming to the Indy 500, it's going to be awesome this year. It's going to feel 100% like an Indianapolis 500 is going to feel. I can't wait for our drivers to see fans back in the grandstands. Scott Dixon said to me after winning the pole during the front row photo shoot on Monday morning how great it was to see a crowd back. And I kind of smiled because it was great. Qualifying day was great, but they're going to be blown away when they see that crowd. Last year they got to see 135,000 people in the grandstands and nobody in the infield. So this year, the biggest difference between this year and 2016 is our infield crowd will be down, call it 25,000 or so, compared to where we were in 2016. But it will be packed for our drivers, and for those rookies or second-year drivers who have never experienced an Indianapolis 500, they're going to be absolutely blown away. And the one I can't wait to hear from the most, because I remember what Kurt Busch said to me after the Indy 500. I told him what it was going to be like, and Kurt ultimately said on Monday at the victory celebration, he came up to me and said, "I can't tell you how right you were. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. It is the most unbelievable thing, and I'll never forget it." Jimmy Johnson obviously seen it from the commentating side last year. I cannot wait to talk to him Sunday night after he gets to go through the excitement of a proper Indianapolis 500. There is nothing like it in the world, and that's how come 325,000 people show up here every year. So thanks for having me. Can't wait to see people in 48 hours.
Exactly, I know. Never overtime. Yeah. Exactly. See ya.
So great meeting you. Stay dry as I look outside.
Thank you.
Meeting you.
Thank you. Hi, how are you? Oh, yes, thank you.
I know if we could even separate where you both levels, or he's just trying to verify.
I'd rather you, everybody.